What's going on? It's Mike, it's Pete, it's so many mashups. This is from season 4, episode 5, and I thought it was interesting that the title was Strange, Long Road It's Been, I believe the title was.
Oh, really? I didn't even
So
catch the title.
something like that. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? It's true because first of all, time out. Say hello, Mike.
Hello, everybody, and hello, Pete.
What's up? So I started, like I told everybody, I came on from later. I didn't watch the first season live. I didn't watch second season live. I ended up was told, hey, this show's really good. Watch the third season's coming out. I watched the first 2 seasons like a week before the third season came out. I binged it and got right into the mix of things, and then we kind of started covering it and watching it and talking about it. So yes, it's been a very strange, long journey for me
Yes.
here. So with that being said, Mike, did you watch it from season 1?
No, I can't remember how I got into it. I think it was a show that Tracy was promoting to us, and she was posting trivia on the so many shows. So I was kind of so I got into it. I think midway through season 2, if not towards the end of season 2.
So Tracy got us both into it at the same time.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
So that means it's only been a strange, long journey for a strange, long Tracy.
Yes, I think I'm pretty sure Tracy watched it from the get-go, but
I think so
don't
too.
quote me on that.
Yeah, we can confirm that, but that's not that's not that's a rumor. It's speculation. It's from our
Yes.
sources. So this episode was interesting. We ended the last episode with what I called a net. People in a
Yes.
net, and you thought it was dead people in seaweed. Well, you were half right, and I was dead wrong. It wasn't people at all. It was like a seaweed type of bottom of the ocean algae type thing. So I'll give you credit for that.
Yes.
However, it was something even cooler than dead people. It was like stuffed animal, life-size stuffed animals. I looked at it as, what you consider it? Like, you really, I
I
guess it wasn't really a
consider
scarecrow to me. Like a scarecrow has like a look.
Yes, I considered it life-size stuffed dolls.
Yeah, so stuff like that. Now we're gonna get to the whole break. Well, not the whole breakdown, but we're gonna talk about it. But I just want to say that this episode had one of the coolest scenes I've ever seen in a show, and maybe the number one coolest scene ever. Definitely the coolest scene I've ever seen from. The point where they were in the place and Tabitha's like, "No, I just remember now where that music's from. We're not safe in here." And they
Yep.
were like, "What are you talking about?" And this big stuffed doll-like creature just punches through the wall, and it all just collapses. Like the big Hulk
Yes.
is like the Incredible Hulk, and you just see like this big face, and you're just like, and I'm even like, "Holy shit, I need to get the out of here." You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah, the
like
stuff thing Kool-Aided the wall. Kool-Aid man the wall.
the graphics was just ridiculous. Of just thing, just like just the evil. Like it reminds. So you know what it reminded me of? I don't know if you're big on The Simpsons, and if not, the Treehouse of Horrors when they
Yes.
had the characters come to life. It was like a
Yep.
curse because Homer stole the donut.
Yes.
And they were all like, you just see like this giant head and like giant fist punches a hole in the wall and it just breaks the Flanders house or whatever. Like
Yes. That was
that's what it reminded me
awesome.
of. Just the visual of it was awesome. And those doll looking things scared the shit out of me with those teeth and those big ass head and those weird looking eyes.
Yes.
And like, yeah, it was a cool graphic, for people who've been complaining about From Shove It because that was like awesome. And I don't find this season to be that slow. I think it is a slow burn, but it's a slow burn because they're playing chess with us.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
appreciate a good chess game as long as it has a good finish. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this thing just ends with like something stupid, I'm going to be the first one to call it out and be like, yo, this sucks. It is what it is. But I am enjoying this season. We're halfway in. And you said, well, we have like a break next week. So there's no episode next week for Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, that's what I saw somebody post on Twitter that they're taking a break on Memorial Day weekend. So that means it'll extend the season out one more week. So I think it'll wrap up start of July unless they take July 4th off. I don't know. We'll see.
Now, as far as the negative, I do believe it's not really a negative, but like if they were those dolls were going to come to life and come after them, they should never had wasted the part of the episode taking them out of the water just to identify them, just to put them back into the water, just for them to come back later.
Oh, I
You could
see.
have you could have avoided that whole scene and saved yourself 7 minutes of TV time and gave us more of a Jade story or a Boyd story or whatever. But you did that, and you could have just left them in the seaweed in the water and been like, oh, let's not touch them. And then at night, here's your dolls, and
Yep.
whatever. So I mean,
Yeah, I
you
liked
you you could nitpick anything you want, really.
yeah, of course. I like how Donna was like, well, usually scarecrows are put in fields to scare birds away. So what are these things in the water for? What's going to come out of the water? And
Yeah,
it's like,
that's what I thought. The theory was crazy, but it was it's from it's so like
yes,
anything's possible. That's why I was like, it's crazy, but it's not. And then Victor's dad being drunk, walking through, trying to have some fun finally because he's just over it because he saw this basically the scene
yes,
of what happened with that his son drew as a kid, and he was just drinking. So, when you drink, nothing really good happens.
Yeah, it was difficult seeing Henry like that because he's always been kind of the solid rock to Victor. How we've seen Victor in the past, how we've seen Victor beating himself up and go into these little, was it
Yeah.
nervous areas of his personality, and Henry's always been the one to ground him, and now we see Victor having and Kenny having to ground Henry a little bit. So
Yeah, Kenny has actually had, I feel like, a really insignificant role this season so far.
insignificant role.
Yeah, I feel like he's been in like in every episode, but he kind of did nothing. He's done nothing.
Yeah,
He's went on no adventures, has no individual stories. He's just kind of checking up on everybody. So my prediction tells me that they're keeping him quiet for a reason. And at the end of the season, he's going to have a big turn. Rather, it's like he's the hero and saves Boyd, or if
wow.
he like turns into like a bad guy and gets a but I feel like he's gonna end up facing off with the girl who's the demon, the bad guy.
Sophia.
Sophia, yeah, I feel like he's gonna end up beefing with her at the end. That's just my prediction. We haven't seen it yet. We don't know what's gonna happen. We
Yeah,
we watch it the same way you guys do with MGM Plus or the channel. But yeah, no, I think that he's such an important part of the show, and for him to be scaled back so much to 5 episodes, I feel like he's gonna have significant impact, or a solo episode coming up where he's on his own adventure and they give you him a lot of TV time. Because if not, it's immoral injustice, as far
yeah.
as my TV screen, because he's a strong character and he should be represented as one.
Yeah, he's a very strong character, and I kind of feel like he's almost has like a babysitter role this season so far.
That's what
He's
I'm
keeping
saying.
an
They
eye
scaled
on
him back so
Fatima, and
much. It's
yeah,
significant, yeah. He's like going back to see the girl with the clay mold in, and he's looking at the demon girl, and he's going back to check out the ambulance one, and
yes,
he hasn't left town. Everybody else is out on their own thing. If you haven't noticed, there's a bunch of people branched out right now in different areas,
yep,
which that's going to lead us into the Jade story, where Jade is, we said he's tripping on those magic mushrooms, and he sees all kinds of things, and without getting too far into it, just versions of him that have been killed in the past, which is reincarnation pretty much, and that they can't leave. But
yeah,
they told him that, and that's a very important part for our story in the chessboard. They told him that every time the people in the village find out that they've been here before or they have time, they get murdered. So it seems like whatever's going on in this town of From, it's on a loop.
yes,
So each time it happens, the same, this person comes, and then eventually, you get in there, and as we can see, Sophia is trying to basically everywhere she goes, she's stirring up the pot, causing people to argue because she wants everybody, villagers with pitchforks, so to speak. And
yep,
then you find out that Tabitha and Jade have been there the whole time and multiple, and then you just like, they're the reasons why you're here now, even though they're not, or are they? Is
yes.
that like a way for them to reveal? Like, did they reveal the big twist now, but they hid it as like an Easter egg? So then later on, when it comes out, you're like, oh shit, season 4, episode 5, I didn't see it.
Yep.
Tabitha and Jade are the real people, why the real bad guys, or the real people why they can't leave is because Tabitha and Jade did something.
Oh, okay.
Because when the kid said, what do they all have in common? He said that none of them have been ripped apart.
Yes.
I was thinking to myself, a lot of them were missing eyeballs or having problems with their eyes. So I thought it was like an eye thing. Like every time he just gonna lose his eyeball, get stabbed in the face,
Oh,
because that maybe that was like a thing. But
yeah.
very
And that,
confusing if it's not that. You know what I mean?
yes. And the thing that caught my ear was when the kid Jade's younger self told him that Tabitha gets it worse. It's like, well, how worse can it get for Tabitha? So we'll see what happens. Maybe this season, or maybe it's just a setup for next season. We don't know yet. I
Well,
mean,
that's what we said. We don't know the big ending, but I would assume that the ending of this season, based on because there's another season coming, might have to do something with Tabitha and Jade, and they might have to do something different they never done before to try to reverse whatever's going on.
break the cycle, or like you
Yeah,
said,
so
reverse. Okay.
so there might be something along those lines in the finale, which you might get a cliffhanger because of that, because they could be going to we have to go, we just have to go here, or we just got to go here, or we were so close last time, and then or whatever, or like I said, no one even knows what's going on with Sophia or her interior motive either.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Sophia's like enjoying stirring the pot there. She grabbed Mari by the hand, and it triggered another vision for Mari, and as if she didn't get rattled enough in the ambulance when she was looking for the cast thing for Sophia's arm. It's like, geez.
Yeah, so what powers does she have at that point?
I don't know what power. She was saying that she was hearing all the townsfolk being killed from all the different times of being killed. So I don't know if that's a power or if it's will it be a way for her to communicate with those people and find out what happened in the past? I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, we already know that Julie has her story walking thing that she's trying to do, and her and Randall kind of got into it in this episode, and Sophia was there to eavesdrop on that conversation as she enjoys stirring the pot with these four characters in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what Mari's power might be, if it's that, or if it's, like I said, maybe a way to figure out what happened by the people screaming out what happened. I don't.
Yeah, like I said, I'm confused with that. So we had the that Tabitha remembered how to kill those stuffed dolls that had to hurt
Yep.
them or whatever. So that ended up causing that's how they defended themselves. But the thing I didn't get is so they at night in that town where they were located, even on the camping trip, they still a town where demons come if you're out in the open and exposed.
Yes.
But these doll people broke their safety net, so to speak, and
The
came in and they got
talisman.
killed.
Yep.
So why didn't a bunch of demons come out right after that and eat these motherfuckers alive or start chasing them?
Well, they're not coordinating with the demons or the demon people that have already been there that we know about. So I don't know if this is a separate entity altogether and how did they come about. I
Well,
know
that's what I was going to
Tabitha
say. If they were by
returns.
the lake, then why are they, if they don't have to worry about the demons that are only in town, then why are they trying to say they're safe behind the closed doors, which they weren't safe behind to begin with? And, what I'm saying? It's a little confusing to me that, now they're outside at night.
Yes. Well,
Isn't
maybe
that a big no?
that's
Isn't that from 101? You don't go
yes.
outside at night else you die if you don't have a townsman, talesman, or something, whatever that is.
Exactly. Talisman, yeah, because I don't know if I can't remember. I remember seeing like an episode where they were at that cabin thing and they heard the voices of the creatures.
Yes,
Yes, but not these life-size doll things
but the
before.
dolls are gone now, so where's the demons? It's nighttime. They're out exposed in the open. Not you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll find out pretty early in the next
I was about to
episode.
say either there's an answer to that or there's an inconsistency in the writing. However, this is so many mashups and there's an inconsistency in everything I fucking say. So I'm not going to hold it against the writers, even if it is like a missed piece of the story that Pete got it right. He's smarter than the writers. It don't matter. Keep writing your shit because I love it. And I have no
Yes.
problem with it. But I do believe there should be some sort of explanation of why they're out in the open. Hopefully there is why they're out in the open in the dark and don't get smashed.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we'll set to see if the creatures come around or not. And
I'm trying
but
to think what
Jade seems to think he knows what's going on now. The one thing I put on my notes was all the visions that he saw, like the going downstairs in Colony House to this door that was hidden in the basement. Is that door actually there? Is my question for the viewers or you. Do you think
Well,
that's
we
true?
thought there was. I mean, as I was watching it, I'm like,
Yep.
you know what? I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and we're about to do this after I finish watching it. We were going to come on and record this, and I'm thinking to myself, like, how long they've been there, and they haven't searched every single crevice of every basement corner.
Yeah.
They didn't find this fucking door in the past. Like, are you kidding me? But we find out that he was never there. He was never even out of the chair.
Yes. Never left the chair. He was sitting there for hours, and Boyd was keeping an eye on him. So
And he had this whole
interesting.
experience and thought he figured out what he figured out. So I thought that was good. That was it was a big Jade story pretty much for the most part. I feel like besides
Yeah.
the other side story of the camping and like the little bit that's going on in town,
Yep.
storyline, it kind of didn't really move forward like too much, but we got like they filled in a lot of the gaps we had, which is what we wanted anyway.
Exactly. We found out what floated to the surface at the lake or river there, and Jade got his magic mushroom journey walk thing,
Yeah, we
not
figured that
story
out. It's
walking,
over.
but
Yeah, that's over now. And like I said, there's a lot of closed doors this episode, so I feel like is that going to open up, another can of worms, so to speak, no pun
of
intended.
course,
Like
because
for
with
next episode,
knowledge
yeah.
comes at a cost. You know that.
But yeah, like I said, and at what point do they find out that Sophia is Sophia? And
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that's going to come about. Is Victor going to know about it? I'm just trying to figure out who's going to catch on first. Maybe Kenny. Maybe that's why Kenny's kind of lurking in the background of these episodes because he's going to put it together because he and her kind of bonded a little bit when she first got to town.
yeah.
So I don't know if he's going to try to. Maybe Kenny's the one that picks up that Sophia's the not as doesn't look is more than what she appears type of
And I
thing.
didn't see any Sarah in this episode, right? There was no Sarah.
Yeah, no Sarah in this episode, especially with the episode
I thought
before
she
when
was
she
going to
had to
be
be
getting
tested.
demonized at some point, or doing something crazy to somebody at some point.
Yeah.
But no, nothing happened with Sarah. Trying to think what else. What else? Anything else you got on this episode that I didn't get to, or am I about to get
Well,
to?
No, I think we did. We covered them. Sophia's enjoying seeing people at each other's throats. The visions of Marielle there and
Oh,
Jade,
so
and
let me
then the
so let me ask you
territory
this
people.
question. Actually, this is like more of a personal question for people. So in the scene with Sophia in the ambulance, she goes, "I'm going to count to three, and then I'm going to snap your shit back in place."
Yep.
One snap.
Yes.
Now we see that a lot in
Yep.
shows and stuff. If we're ever in a situation where it's Pete and Mike and your arm is broken, I got to snap it back into place, right? Preference wise. And I
Yeah.
say, okay, Mike, I'm going to count to three. Do you really want me to count to three? Or are you okay with a surprise one snap? So you
I'm
can
okay with a surprise one snap.
see, I feel like I would rather the three. The one
You'd
snap would
rather
piss
have
me
a
off because I like to embrace for everything.
well,
Like
maybe
I'm
if you
just
brace, it won't set properly. Maybe that's why they always go on
well,
one.
that's my fucking problems to begin with anyway. But that's my point is that like I even like when they're about to like do like a needle to draw blood or whatever they're doing for whatever medical thing, I'm always like, all right, just let me know when you're gonna do it. Don't do that shit like that fake
Yeah,
three count thing. I said just count to three and I'm ready. Like I'll take it. I'll absorb the blow at three. But I don't
exactly.
like to be blindsided or a surprise. So don't try to. I hate surprises. It's so funny, right?
Yes.
Just don't want just a preference. Yeah, so and like I said, we're off this week. So any bold predictions of what we're gonna see next week as like opening new storylines or like are we just gonna like what do you think the majority of next episode is gonna be? I think it's gonna be more about Tabitha, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're gonna get a Tabitha heavy episode. If it's not from, the aftermath of the stuff people, it might be. I mean, we it's about time for another powwow meeting between the, Boyd and Donna, Tabitha, Jade, and we got to get another powwow meeting of, just so everybody knows what's going on. It's
You
like,
just opened up the. So here's the thing. I don't have no notes, but he just gave me a. Mike just basically told me what's going to happen. So they have to have another powwow meeting, yes. But last time they had the meeting, they decided to keep it from everybody else.
yes,
This time they're going to tell everybody else because you have to because of what happened last time. I said next time, you have to fill the town in before they start killing each other to begin with anyway.
yep.
And they're going to basically, I think this is when the reveal is going to come with Tabitha and Jade, and this is when everybody's going to start going after them and having opinions on them. And it's going to be
Oh,
the slow beginning of the finale, leading up to the finale episode, the final episode of the season
yeah. Okay.
where they might be on a manhunt and Tabitha and Jade are running for their lives and have to hide in those tunnels and whatever the case may be. But I do believe that we're going to end up meeting up, having a meeting, deciding, hey, let's tell the public what's going on, and then it's going to start to look like, oh no, these guys are dead instantly. But
Yeah,
they'll squirm out of it and survive somehow, or they'll lose an eyeball, like what happened to the
exactly.
guy that Jade was looking at. But I think that's it, right, for
Yep, that's it
this
for today.
episode. All right, Mike, Pete. So many mashups. You want to just tell them where they can find our mashups
Yes, currently
currently?
we are putting our mashups on the So Many Shows YouTube channel. You can also find us on at So Many Mashups on Twitter, and we also have our own Facebook page as well. So you can find us at So Many Mashups on Facebook too. I try to get
Leave a
all of our
comment.
mashups content posted to those three sites: the YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Every now and then I'll forget, but if I forget, hey, just shoot me out a DM or text saying, "Hey, you forgot to post that one. I want to listen to it." So.
Or just leave a comment on the Facebook post that says Mike's a jerk, and we'll know you're verified has a good #1 fan.
Exactly.
All right, everybody. See you in a couple weeks. Have a good one.
Talk to you on the next one. Have a great week.